Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Love Wire podcast. I'm your co-host, Shanese Danae, and I have my husband here, Matt.
Yo.
All right, so I know it's been a long time, but we are back like we never left.
Yeah, it's been almost 3 weeks. I
Ooh,
think
that's
I,
a long time.
I think you were out of town one week, and the next week my hours changed.
Yeah, so we had to adjust to our new schedule,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, and we still planning a. Well, I guess the planning phase is over, but we're still preparing for a wedding.
Yes, our wedding's only in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I'm so excited about that.
yeah. So I hope everybody has been well in our absence. I know you've missed us.
Yes.
A lot of things have happened, but we're ready. We're ready to get back to potting.
Yes. Well, I was in the process of finding the Love Jones segment, and I didn't find one. I got
Oh,
distracted.
okay. Well, I love you. That's a Love Jones quote.
I love you too.
What does "I love you" mean to you?
What does I love you mean to me? I feel like I love you.
I was just playing. You about to really get into it. If you can, if you want.
No, it's good because you just played me. We gonna move on. All right, so there's a lot of things that's been going on in the media. So we're just gonna jump right into it. All right. So, how do you guys? Well, wait. Well, before we even jump into this, we're gonna talk about Will and Jada and August Alsina. I always say August Altina, but it's Alcina.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I guess the first thing is like, I mean, I know we talked about it before, but like publicly displaying information in your relationship,
Yeah.
like I'm not sure how good of an idea that is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, well, I feel like I don't know. I feel like in this situation, if because they have an open relationship, obviously.
Allegedly.
They allegedly correct have
Mm.
an open relationship, which to me is kind of contradicting because allegedly they say that they don't have an open relationship, but then it was admitted that she was allegedly having relations with.
Oh, I didn't alleged. She admitted. She admitted.
Okay.
She admitted to the
Well,
entanglement.
hey, I'm just trying to protect us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. I mean, she admitted to the entanglement. But I guess the tidbit there was that they were separated. Like they were at a point where they felt like they were done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And honestly, they can do whatever they wish because at the end of the day, it's their business, it's their marriage, and whatever works for their marriage works for their marriage.
Yeah, I mean, she started by saying that. She started by saying that in
I didn't watch the Red Table Talk.
in her little TED talk.
Her little TED Talk.
Yeah, she started by saying that. But you know what? Well, what are your thoughts on like if you're separated, like you're still married but you're separated, and or not, you don't even got to be married. Like I don't even think marriage is important in this. Like you break up or you take a break from your significant other,
Mm-hmm.
and your significant other goes and has sex with someone else. Is that cheating to you?
If they're not together. Okay, so first you had mentioned that if you're married, if you're separated and you have sex with someone, it's basically like the same thing as if you're not in a relationship. Like if you're like if you're not married but you're in a traditional relationship and you guys separate, to me it's different.
It's not. I mean, in some cases, I guess so because you're still legally married. But
I mean, well,
some people separate and they're done with each other,
yeah,
or they think they're done with each other.
I don't know. So for me, it's different. Like I don't know, because I'm like, okay, well, how long have we been separated? Air quotes. You see what I'm saying? Like because like if we're separated and we only been separated for like 2 weeks, and I go and like have sex with someone, to me that's a bit much. But that's just me.
Yeah.
But if your juices is flowing and if that's what the body wants, I mean, but personally,
Because I even think like even like with Insecure, right?
mm,
Issa and Homeboy was separated. I forget his name, but like they were separated for a long time, for like almost like 2 seasons. They were, well, 3 seasons they were separated,
mm-hmm.
and then in their separation, he gets another girl pregnant, and Issa has a hard time with that. I don't understand that. I don't understand like that happened when y'all were not a thing.
Yeah, but if it was the other way around, and if she was pregnant, he would feel some type of way too. right?
Maybe, I don't know. For
If the
me,
roles were now for you, if it was us, you wouldn't feel some type of way that if we were separated and I got pregnant by somebody else.
I would feel some type of way.
Exactly. So what you're saying is kind of contradicting.
I'm saying in the case with an Insecure, when they were separated for such a long time, like they weren't even like they were dating each other. They were dating other people consistently.
Yeah, I understand that, but you had mentioned that you don't understand why she felt some type of way about him getting another girl pregnant, even though they were separated. But I was saying, like, if the roles were reversed,
If
then
the roles were
you would feel
reversed,
some type of way. So
and
there's
and
what's the difference?
3 years have passed, and we both been dating different people over the last 3 years, and you get pregnant by somebody else. I can't get mad at that because that's been 3 years where we were not together. I was doing my
But you
thing,
would still have an emotion attached to that if you still love me.
but we weren't together for 3 years.
I
was dating other
Insecure, they
people.
weren't together for 3 years. We're talking about Insecure year. You just put a number.
Yeah,
on
but
3 years.
the overall thing is just like separation. They were separated for a long time.
Yeah.
Issa was dating multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, I keep forgetting his name. I'm sorry. I do watch the show. I promise.
I can't think of his name.
He was dating multiple people for a long time.
Yeah.
And it just so happened in his relationships, he got somebody pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know. I think that was one of the things with Will and Jada, where they say that at that point they were separated, and Jada got into this relationship with August.
I personally feel like, and this is just my opinion. Like, again, it's their business. I'm just going to state it. It's a public issue, so I'm going to state what I think.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the vulnerability that August was in a mindset that he was in, it just seemed like it was just kind of like wrong to do. Yeah. As a grown woman, like, he's a baby to you. Like, legit. Like, your son introduced him to you. That's weird. I'm sorry. That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
I mean, you got to get it where the shoe fits, but sometimes if the shoe don't fit, the shoe ain't fitting.
I mean, I don't think there's a problem with an older woman doing her thing with a younger guy, but I do agree that...
But with your friend, that's weird.
I agree that with his mental state.
Yeah.
With his mental... He wasn't in the greatest mental state to deal with this superstar. The Will Smiths are like they're like the Black Kardashians. They
beyond that.
They are, I mean, to us. I mean, the rest of the world, the white America don't look at them like that, but...
I don't know.
But she's this superstar, and here is this guy in this vulnerable state. You know what I mean? He lost his mom. He lost his brother. Like, he's real unstable right now emotionally.
Yeah.
And, I think that part of it is where it was kind of wrong. But then it's also like, watching that interview, you could tell Will was not happy.
Yeah, no, his whole demeanor was just
Will was not...
He looked like he was just shaking inside, like he had to shake.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just didn't seem... It seemed like they were just hoping that they would do that, clear the air, and it'd be over. But August had other plans.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yo, the thing is, though, like, I always thought that August was gay. That was just my...
I thought so too. He kind of has that, like, a bohemian,
free spirit
hippie vibe.
Yeah.
And not saying that those kind of people are gay. He's just he has that aura about him.
Yeah, that's what I figured he was gay.
Or that he's pansexual.
And he I mean, I don't know. I don't know what his sexual preference is, but that was always my thought of it. But yeah, and then I think that I don't know. I think Jada kind of slithered out of that one. I think she...
What you mean?
For her to come on there and want to clear the air, she didn't say much.
Yeah, because I think that because she was out of her comfort zone. The thing is that this is what I don't understand. You have a red table talk because you want to dish out everything. You want to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? You want everybody's business. But it's funny this is with anybody. Whenever it's about you, you have a hard time communicating your issues and keeping it real.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel so good to be in the spotlight, does it?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she had Ti and Tiny on there, and had them challenge Ti and his thoughts and his beliefs and all of that, and not challenge in like a bad way, but like made it so that his thoughts were like he had to think about a little bit about what his perspective was.
Yeah.
And I think Will tried to do that when she used the word entanglement. And yes, and the definition of entanglement probably was exactly what they went through. But at the end of the day, I mean, she had sex with him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's I don't know. I just think she dodged a lot. I think she
Of course.
she did a lot of dodging.
But to be honest with you, at the same time, it's weird.
It was like
she
12
has every
minutes.
right to.
It was like 12 minutes. She does.
Because at the end of the day, like, they're still married legally, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you took those vows for a reason. And at the same time, they still have a relationship outside of what the media sees.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have to hide a certain amount, or you kind of don't want to share all the information. So I get it, but don't have a red table talk if you ain't gonna keep it real.
No, I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't put yourself on your own show if you only gonna give us a little taste, a little snippet. If you want to be on the red, you need to be fully on the red.
Yeah, it was only like 12 minutes. It wasn't like real in depth like I expected it to be. Will seemed very uncomfortable.
Of course. That's awkward.
Yeah, like he joked about getting her back. Like, I don't think that was a joke. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know if he was actually trying to be funny or it just didn't seem like everything was okay just from the visual of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I talk to people for a living. You know what I mean? I counsel people for a living. Like, that just didn't seem like the most connected
conversation
individuals. You know what I'm saying? And they've been married damn near longer than I've been alive, or for most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know. And then August went on Lil Wayne's podcast and basically said that he's still in love with her and he still misses her.
That's so sad. My heart is broken for him. But you know what? At the end of the day,
your heart's broken for him?
No, I was kind of just being.
I'm about to say he messy.
But at the end of the day, they're both grown adults here. You know what they do is their business, and if he still wants to continue to love her, it's life lessons. You know, everybody is put in a situation where an uncomfortable situation. Yeah. Where things don't go their way, where they make wrong decisions, and they're right now in this moment they're both living with it, and that's what you call adulting, people. But moving on to...
Well, he could still love her, but stop talking about my wife, bro.
What?
He could still love her.
Yeah.
But if I'm Will, stop talking about my wife.
Yeah, well, but your wife put herself in a situation to be talked about. That's what happens when you have an open relationship, allegedly.
Right, but...
I'm just saying.
But we men. Stop talking about my wife. I don't care what y'all had, what y'all did.
Hey.
Like, shut up.
And that's probably why he was shaking in his boots on the red table talk.
Yeah, maybe. And then
Evelyn.
Yeah. So we didn't talk about this before this. So where do you think I'm going with this? Like, if you had to guess.
I don't know where Matt's about to go with this. You probably gonna say that she probably didn't bring it up or something. I don't know what you gotta say.
Well, what do you think's going on?
Huh?
Did you see?
Okay, so I don't know everything was going on, but I did watch a little bit on Ballers Alert about how she had, she went on there. She was talking about how he brought it up and how that 3 seconds had ruined their relationship and ruined his career and all this stuff. And she was crying and everything. So I know a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So.
But she did say that wasn't the first time.
That was the first time what?
That he had put his hands on her, allegedly.
Oh, okay. I don't know about any of that.
Yeah, so that's why she was crying, not hysterically, but she was just kind of getting frustrated because she felt like You know, like that wasn't the first time. Like, so for him to just say that, it's hurtful because, you know, I'm trying to move on from it, but that wasn't the first time.
Okay.
So now what you got to say?
First, I want to say that I am completely against any male putting his hands on a woman.
Yeah.
That's not cool. Um, it's not cool the other way around
I was
either.
just
Like
gonna say that too.
like domestic violence in general is just not. It's not cool, and you know, if to resort to violence in that way with a person that you're supposed to love, man or woman, is a coward thing to do. Um, but so to get a little deeper into Ocho Cinco's Chad Johnson, I ain't calling that man Ocho Cinco. His name is Chad Johnson. Like, cause I remember having this conversation with a friend when this happened, and what we were talking about was uh the fact that this man has done good for most of his life, right? Especially when you compare it to some athletes that get in trouble all the time in college. You know what I mean? Like, there's a bunch of stories that go around about different athletes in college and what they do to women, you know, how their behavior is, and even in the NFL. And we never got that from him. The only incident that we ever got was his abuse to Evelyn, which is terrible. It is, like, whether that was just a one time or whether it was throughout the course of their relationship, you know, from any other person's perspective, that's the only incident.
Yeah, but then again, just because it's just one incident, or you know, doesn't mean that it's not something that happened to other people. Because it's one of those things too, where sometimes as females they feel like they don't have a say or they can't bring anything up to the light because of who that person is publicly. So sometimes it puts them in a weird position. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So I mean, I'm not gonna say nothing happened or because no one was there but them two at the end of the day. But at the same time, no matter how it went down, because he was in a public eye, and who knows how or what triggered each other's temperaments, wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
So, but
so like
something that he has to live with.
The full circle of my point is though is that at what point can a person be reformed? Like, at what point are we looking at a person and not necessarily forgetting them for what they did in the past, but forgiving them, especially somebody like him who only thing that outside knows, like the people that are denying him business, you know, the NFL who no longer allowed him to be back in his career, all they know is that one incident.
Yeah.
So years later, is he not able to be a changed person?
No, he definitely is able to be a changed person.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not talking about somebody that has been. I'll be like, I don't know his history, but I'm talking about just from a public perspective, somebody who's had one incident in 20
one
plus.
Incident, that's a black man.
That's been 20 plus years of his career, and that one incident has created this narrative for his character. It's completely understandable if Evelyn has a vision of who he is.
Yeah.
But for everybody else, we stand with Evelyn, but who are we to say that he's that same person today?
That we're not to say that he's the same person today, but at the same time is that he was who he was because he was good at what he did. You see what I'm saying? But if you are no longer the top player, or you know, from a business perspective, they don't want anything to do with you, even if he didn't have an issue. You see what I'm saying? Like,
but that's not always the case. That's not always the case with athletes who retire and who are not good. Like, they get to be like sportscasters on ESPN or something like that.
Yeah, that's true.
They get to be coaches in the NFL. They get to.
But it's all about reputation. Like, it's just the world that we live in. It's all about reputation, and once you damage your reputation, like, it's hard for you to move on from that, and it's hard for you to get sponsorship deals, and that's just the reality of the world that we live in.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just questioning, like, why is that? Like, why I understand Evelyn's hurt, and I'm not trying to take away from her pain, but I also understand the perspective that Chad's coming from.
Yeah.
Like
It's one of the same things with one of the people that was able to move on from it completely that I've seen publicly is Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Like, he's one person that, like, legit, like, moved on from it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, I feel like a lot of the times that we hear about, like, you know, abusive relationships, but sometimes we don't really know the full story because there's certain things and certain triggers that person could have triggered that person to do what they did, too. Not giving it an excuse.
Yeah.
But if you have somebody to keep picking and picking and picking and picking and picking, or if that person was to hit first, which is also something that men wouldn't admit to. I think Bow Wow was the only one that had, like, admitted something that his girlfriend at the time allegedly hit him first.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, it's just, I feel like it's just a weird position to be in general. But it's also the world we live in, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, and I also think, like, with the Chris Brown situation, what helped him a lot was that Rihanna didn't, like, really dwell on it like that. You know what I'm saying? She got whatever help she needed to make herself better and move on. And I think in this situation where, because you said that Evelyn was saying, I
also think that she also kind of played a part too.
Yeah, and then like you said, like with Evelyn, she was saying that, like, it hurt so much because he's saying that this was the only time, but there's been multiple times. That sounds like to me that there needs to be some healing to go on with her. So that
of course. I mean, obviously, if she's talking about it and she's crying and frustrated and already putting that energy in something that happened a long time ago, it says a lot. Like, it says a lot that it's not just the pain of being abusive. She could be like, she still has, like, who knows at the end of the day. But obviously there's some still emotional attachment to that, on why she's feeling the way that she's feeling, on why she's so much emotions going and energy is going into it.
Yeah. It should get to a point where, well, I was saying this, should. It may be helpful for a person to get to a point where even if he is lying about this being the only time that he did that, him making a public statement about that shouldn't phase you in that way. If you're healed.
Yeah, because she's not healed.
Right.
But she didn't admit that she was healed either. She said that she's still working towards it. She admitted that too.
Yeah, but
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's been, I don't know. You can't measure somebody's trauma, but like if someone comes into my office and they're still traumatized by an event from years ago, as a professional, I understand that there were either some failed attempts to heal, or there have been very limited or no attempts to heal. So I would question, what has she tried to heal? Has it worked? Why hasn't it worked? Because I just, cause at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I don't think that Chad came out to say that to hurt her. He was just,
he was talking about it more from his perspective.
Right.
And it was true.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, what he mentioned, it was just a statement. It was just, and it ruined his career. Like, it ruined everything. And if anything, he could have been talking about it from a perspective like that. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. He was responding to somebody on Twitter, and he was just saying, like, they asked him, like how did you overcome? How have you persevered? Just in general, not about that. And I guess, like, that's a sore spot for him as well. And he was just like, I made one mistake. I lost my temper for 3 seconds, and that ruined, like, my career and my business opportunities, X, Y, and Z.
Yes. So that was not like he even.
Yeah. He didn't deny, like, he didn't deny that he did it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like sometimes this, and I'm just going to say it because I don't really care. But there's a lot of times where females take certain things that are being said and they twist it and turn it into other things that don't need it doesn't need to be turned into what they turn it into. Mm-hmm. And that sometimes that annoys me a little bit. And I'm just being honest with you guys. You can take it how you want to take it, but it is what it is. Yeah. And you that are listening, sometimes that happens. Rather if it's you doing it yourself, changing words around, making things up, and making an imaginary story in your head what that person really means. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
It's not your job to punish people.
It's
you know
not.
What I'm saying? And punishments don't last a lifetime. Punishments are meant to be put in place to make that person learn a lesson for that specific event. Mm-hmm. And then hopefully they learn that lesson and then move on with life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because that's how you move on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start into this segment. I feel like this got juicy. We was talking about some juicy things, but I feel like this kind of goes into, does your partner get disrespectful when they're mad?
Does your partner get disrespectful when you're mad? You asking me?
Yeah. Do you think I get disrespectful?
I think you can.
Yeah. But I try not to. I have a really bad temperament, but I got really good over the years, right? Wouldn't you agree?
I feel like I'm being backed into a corner.
You're in your corner, speak. I think I have, but I don't know.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, it's hard for me to say. Mm-hmm. Because you don't get mad like you used to. I don't know if that's you.
A good thing.
I don't know if that's you getting better with your temper. Because getting better with your temper means that when you get mad, you manage it better.
I
think I've given you less reason to be mad, so it hasn't been exposed to
I don't know about that, but I just think that I don't allow certain things that used to irritate me anymore. Or I feel like it just takes so much energy to be mad. Mm. And I just don't have the energy to put into it to be mad.
So you don't think I've done less to make you mad?
I don't know what you have done. I'm just saying, there's certain things that I would that you would do that I would get really upset about back in the day. But now I just kind of brush it off. It's like there's no point of me being mad over something so silly. Like, why would I snap over certain things? Like, it can be the littlest things.
So let me be clear. You're indicating I'm still doing things from in the past now?
No, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that you're doing things that were in the past, but certain things that were in the past that, okay, let me explain it.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'm being backed up in a corner now. So what I'm saying is that certain things that because babe, you're very sarcastic, naturally. You don't realize that you are, but you're a sarcastic person. So certain things if you would say, and I'm thinking you're getting smart, in the past, I would think that you're getting smart, but honestly you're just being you. So I would be like, who you talking to? Snappy. But I just he's just being him. Is that a bad example?
I don't think I'm sarcastic though.
You don't? I think you are.
Because sarcastic will require me to not say what I mean, and I think I always say what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then maybe, I don't know, babe. Maybe it was a bad idea. I love you.
All I was saying was that you have less reasons to be angry today than before.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So your anger is not on display as much.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that means that you have gotten better at managing your anger.
I am. I feel like you're not trying to give me my credit, and I don't like that. I feel like you're trying to take my credit away from me. It sounds like you're saying, well, you have been doing good with your anger, but I'm not sure if it's because I'm not giving you, a reason to be angry. So I'm not really sure if you can control your temper. That's not fair. I'm doing good, guys.
Well, okay. For example, this is not. I mean, okay, yes, you've gotten better with your anger.
I have.
You've gotten better with your anger.
Thank you.
Because the example I was going to use is kind of answer the question for me.
Oh, okay.
I was going to use the example when you went back to get your from the pizza place. They forgot something. They forgot something.
The second time they forgot my meatballs.
Yeah,
they didn't put my whole. Yeah. How do you miss a whole complete like meal, guys.
But yeah, so this woman realized that she forgot her meatballs, and I don't know if it was anger, but it was like it upsetted you so much. Like you came upstairs, like I don't know what you came upstairs for. You started looking for something. You didn't grab anything. Like it was just like I don't know, like an act. Like you ran upstairs and then
like an act.
Yeah, just looked around, didn't grab anything, ran back downstairs, and then left and went and got your meatballs. Like, but it's moments like that where it's like, okay, she's not fully, Shanice is not fully there in that moment.
I was so mad about the meatballs.
So it'd be things like that. I'll be thinking like, oh, okay, but it's definitely not as bad as
because before I would have went there, I probably would have cussed them out. I would have came home and I would have brought that energy back. Like, I can't believe they did that. Forget my meatballs. Mm-hmm. I would have just ran with it.
Yeah. Do I get disrespectful when I'm angry?
No, you don't. I feel like you have episodes where you like snap, like, but you only snap when like you're completely upset. But sometimes I think it's more of like you hold in too much stuff and then you like snap. But you snap, I want to say maybe like once or twice a year. You go through like your little explosion mode.
You're the only person I've ever yelled at in my life.
Because I'm the closest person to you.
No, because you push buttons.
I push buttons?
I think I snap more because like I just be wanting to be left alone.
Yeah.
And you don't leave me alone.
Because I want to know what's wrong. Like, I want to talk, and you don't be wanting to talk. And that's why, for me, when you don't want to communicate with me and talk to me, and then I'll just keep asking, and keep asking, and keep asking, and keep asking. And then you snap because you're like, just leave me alone, basically.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in arguments, when we're having an argument, and, like I'm sorry. So, sometimes you just be wrong.
I be wrong,
but you be stuck on that. You be stuck on that point because it's.
But I be trying to come to an understanding too, like about because I'm usually when I'm either disagreeing with you, or it's more of like I'm talking to you about it, and I'm like trying to get an understanding, but I'm also trying to see get you to see like my point of view, and I'm also like trying to understand your point of view, but then you get frustrated in the process when I'm like doing that.
No. I disagree.
Oh, okay.
I disagree. I just think the reason why I snap is because sometimes you just be flat out wrong.
Yeah.
And then you keep on with it, and I just be wanting to be left alone, and you don't leave me alone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And sometimes I can't. I don't know. I can't keep a calm, calm
composure.
Yeah.
I got you. But I don't snap. I don't snap like you snap on me. I don't think. Do
I? You haven't in some years, no.
Yeah. See, that means we gotta work on it. That right there tells you that my temper is very good.
It's gotten better, yes.
Thank you.
I said that though. I corrected myself.
Yeah. I just wanted to give another example. That's all.
Yeah, but
See, we're human, guys. We're not perfect.
Yeah, but I don't think you've been disrespectful lately, like in our previous arguments. You said things I don't like, but it's not necessarily disrespectful. I won't say it's disrespectful.
No, because I feel like I feel like disrespecting you would just be like crazy to do. Like I feel like if you love the person that you're arguing with, like there is no point in being disrespectful. You shouldn't be calling nobody no names, none of that, cursing at them. Like that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
You can have a disagreement, you can argue, you know what I mean? But if you're calling each other names, that's not right.
Yeah. I mean, and even when I snapped, I'm not like cussing you out. I'm just like yelling.
Yeah, you're just yelling. Like that's what I mean by snapping. Like he never raises his voice at me. So when he does, like once a year, I'm like, oh, he yelled at me. For real. I just be like, I'd be sad. It makes me sad.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like in relationships, if the arguments are disrespectful, then
you might need to reconsider that, because I feel like the person that you're with should never be disrespecting you on any level. Period.
Yeah.
Because you have to think about it so deep that it's like, okay, what I want him to be talking to me like that in front of, or her talking to me in front of my parents like that,
Mm-hmm.
my kids like that. And if you guys are having a misunderstanding amongst each other, but if you feel like if your grandma was in a room or if your child was in a room and you guys are having that disagreement, and that you feel like they would feel some type of way because your significant other is disrespecting you, then you need to reconsider.
Mm-hmm.
And that's real talk.
Yeah. Yeah, because I always, I had this conversation like with my brother before, just about how like I just look at people who are close to me a bit differently when it comes to like certain situations. Like at no point do I feel like there's just a difference on how I'm gonna handle somebody that's my family compared to a stranger. And I don't care what it is. You know what I'm saying? If if Shanice, this is a very extreme example, but if Shanice has a gun pointed towards me and she's ready to shoot me, like I'm gonna handle that so much different than I'm gonna handle like a stranger. Like for a stranger, it's like, okay, now it's life or death. It's automatically life or death.
Yeah.
And like for some people, they have a hard time understanding my point when I say like if that's Shanice holding that gun in front of me, it's a little different for me. Like I'm not automatically going to life and death because this is a person that, at least in my mind, I have a love and a relationship with. So we need to work this out some way.
Yeah.
To where like to where I can live or you can live. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not automatically going to that with somebody I love. And I was having a discussion about how like because just to make it a general conversation, it was just like if a person is putting their hands on you and aggressively like grabbing you and stuff like that, like if anybody does that, then how you going to react? And my comment was, that's not just anybody though, that's family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So your reaction should be a bit different. It should be a bit less aggressive. You feel what I'm saying? Like
because it's somebody that you love.
Right. Like I don't know. I just think about that differently. Like if me and a close friend is going through it, like I'm gonna get hurt before my initial reaction is like, okay, I need to protect myself.
Yeah.
So like that's just how I handle things. And I just think that that's a good way to handle, especially like family and people you love. It's important to, because they're not strangers. You know what I'm saying? How you deal with a stranger should be completely different than how you deal with family.
I agree with you 100%. Now, something else that I wanted to bring up is jealousy in a relationship. And when I'm talking about jealousy amongst your partner, as well as just jealousy in general. Like, it doesn't even have to be your partner. It could be someone that you're close to. It could be a friend. Because, sad to say, but if we're going to be realistic, it's a thing.
Yeah, jealousy is normal. A little bit of jealousy is healthy, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, but then there's also certain stages of jealousy too.
Yeah, I think earlier on in our relationship, like my jealousy was like super high.
Your jealousy was super high.
Like super high. Like I wanted her to like delete every guy she knew on Facebook.
I was like, what?
Like
those the youngin days.
Like I don't know. It was just, yeah, it was jealousy. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I even remember one time, like this was like maybe like 5-6 years ago, and I don't remember exactly what it was. I think I might be mixing the situation up, but there was some situation where you replied to some guy on Facebook, on Instagram or whatever, and I had to like screenshot it and send it to like my friends and be like, "Yo, am I tripping? Like, should I not be okay with this?" And it was a mix of answers. Some of them was like, "Nah, bro, she can't be doing that." Some of them was like, "Bro, it's social media. Leave it alone."
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it, for me, it just had to do a lot with trust. I had to know that I trusted you, and at the end of the day, if I gotta trust that like you're gonna be honest with me, and if not, then I'll find out. Hopefully,
the truth always comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I personally think, I guess I'm thinking about it like super deep, like being jealous of like the wins and stuff like that of your partner, and I feel like you can't be jealous of somebody that you're on the same team with.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So for me, in regards to that, that's just wrong. Now, when it comes to friendships, I've been dealing with jealousy from family, jealousy from I wouldn't say friends because my friends are good friends. They're not the jealous type, but people that you associate with or that you speak to, um, it's a thing. Like sometimes whenever you have accomplishments, you're excited about it. You share this with your family. You share this with people that you are close to or around, and they
Mm-hmm.
smile in your face and they're like, "Oh, like congratulations!" But
Mm-hmm. Not everybody's happy for you.
yeah, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
But it's important for you to also understand that and not to be naive towards that too.
Yeah, and I think I kind of was because I know like when I explain whenever I explain the whole situation, like what happened like with my family and why we not speaking right now. Um, initially it's always like like yeah, I can kind of see why they wouldn't want that out there, but then the conversation of jealousy always comes up too.
Yeah.
Like
But sometimes like when it's somebody that's close to you, you kind of don't want to put that thought in your mind
right,
too.
and so like when it comes up, it's hard for me to see that. It's like nah, I don't know about that. But then
Yeah.
when you sit down and think about it, it's like what else could it be?
Yeah.
What else could it be? And I mean it's hard. It's hard to deal with it. I mean I've watched you deal with it, and I've become frustrated with how you deal with it.
Really?
Yes,
How do I deal with it?
you don't. It's just like whatever.
Yeah, cuz I mean, but at the end of the day, what can you do?
Well, okay. The and whatever is not what bothers me. What bothers me is the continued relationship with these people.
Because they're mad. They're mad. So if someone is okay, so my thing is that a person can be just because a person is jealous of you, it doesn't mean that you have to cut all ties. Now, I know for some, it's like I don't know, Shanice. You jealous? That's cool. But
It's
sometimes,
dangerous.
hmm,
It's dangerous.
it can be dangerous. But
It
you also have to not as long. I'm not blind though, so it's different. It's different for me. It's different because I'm not blind. Like I can see, I can
okay.
hear, etc. But sometimes it's more of a jealousy. Like dang, like it's more of a personal thing with them that they need to work on themselves. As in, why is she where she at? Why is she where she is and I'm not there, etc. It's more of that
Hmm.
versus more of like, oh, I don't want her to win, so I'm going to sabotage. Like
But how do you know that though?
I just
How do you know
know
that they wouldn't sabotage you if they had the chance?
because they can't. How people can only sabotage you if you allow them to sabotage you.
Maybe.
Because if you don't, I don't share all my details. I don't share everything. I don't share like you know what I mean. I share my like my wins and stuff like that, but I don't share every little detail for somebody to try to sabotage me.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course they can take it to the extreme, go on Google and do like weird stuff. But at the end of the day, like you're gonna have jealous people your entire career, your entire journey in life. So you can't run from these things. You can't run from if you're trying to do a business agreement and you have an investor that invests in you and then all of a sudden becomes jealous of you. You have to know how to work with these people. So I look at it as I see you. I'm not blind. I see you, but I'm also not dumb. I'm not oblivious to what you're doing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's playing like to me that's like playing Russian roulette with
I'm not
yourself.
I'm not playing Russian roulette because I can care less. Like just like you said a couple of seconds ago, you feel like I don't do anything. Like it's not. It takes more of my energy to.
It's not the not doing anything. I kind of corrected myself. It's the continued relationship with these people.
Well, I'm not really continuing relationships either, though. I keep them at a distance.
I mean, I ain't gonna say nothing because it's the podcast. It's going out to the public. But we'll talk about that off of camera. But you keep these people close.
Do I? Okay.
You keep these people close. You still help them. You still give them advice. You still, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
that's the part that's like, come on now, like, you know, this person don't mean you know well. Like, why are you even investing your energy into that?
Because God's going to bless me.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be blessed and highly favored. Because I have favor.
That's true. God will also have you run into a wall because you act like you don't see it.
I'm not acting like I don't see it though, babe. I swear. Like, I'm not oblivious. I swear.
I'm not saying you're not oblivious, but you do continue that's just the part that frustrates me. Is just like the continued relationship with these people.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just do me.
Yeah. But I mean, because like for me, it's like I don't know the type of environment that I grew up in, like jealousy, like certain things, and this is not. I've come to the conclusion now, you know, later in life at 29, that this is not a very healthy quality. But when you come from a certain environment, certain things in people um, require a cutoff, or at one point in time will require a cutoff because it was dangerous. It was like very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Like growing up, like being around street dudes and stuff like that, jealousy is dangerous. That's like the difference between you going to jail or you being dead, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I see people with those characteristics, although it's not like life or death, like they can't send me to jail, whatever, it still gives me that same feeling of like this person can't be trusted,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want this person around me.
Yeah.
And I don't think you go to that extreme. I think you just go to like what you just explained. It's just like it's their problem. It's something they have to deal with, and
Yeah.
you don't pull out the scissors and cut.
I don't, because I feel like you have to really. So the thing with me is that you have to do something like to me. Like you have to do something that it's like I'm very discerning, so I notice certain things about people, but like if you do something to me, like intentionally to me, that's different. Then you get completely cut off. Well, first you get cussed out.
These
Not
people have done
cussed out,
things.
because I'm a better person
These
now.
people have done things to you intentionally. It wasn't like they didn't call you out by name. They didn't like whatever, but they've taken from you intentionally.
People now?
Recently, within the last few years or so.
And we're still close?
Again, I'm not going to say names.
I'm like, now I need to know who you talk about, because I'm real lost.
But they have taken ideas from you, stuff like that is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a given. You can't really stop that.
Right. But for these people to be associated with you, like if I got friend Parker's my friend. We're close. We talk. We've been to each other's houses, stuff like that. I go to Parker with what my plans are in business and my ideas, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Parker takes my idea and goes into business and does whatever he does.
Mm-hmm.
Copies my whole ideas and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't acknowledge me about any of that. Doesn't do anything like that. But just want to ask for advice from me. And then when I need to pull from him, he's not there to pull from. Like that's not somebody that
The
I
only
should be
person
around.
I could think about that tried to do that been cut a long time ago.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
They.
Overall, man, just my thing is just like, you know, I mean, I think we all can agree that, you know, people who are jealous of you, it can be hard to deal with, especially when they're close.
Mm-hmm.
But it's part of life. I think, like I explained earlier, I think some part of jealousy is definitely healthy. I think being jealous keeps me wanting to be a better me for you. So I think that's the healthy part of jealousy.
Yeah.
There's times where I got to catch myself because I'll be watching hard eyes under your comments and stuff and be wanting to, you know, read some people their rights. But, you know, that's petty. It doesn't mean much. Like she's here with me. You know what I mean? Like it's not that serious.
Yeah.
But I think part of why I work to be a better me is because A jealousy.
What?
Nothing.
Okay, well, I want to jump right into the next topic here. And how do you feel about joint bank accounts? Well, it's kind of weird for me even asking that because we do have joint bank accounts.
Joint bank account?
Yeah. Like, do you feel like when's a good time to do it? Is there a time limit to do it? Do you think it's a good idea?
I think it's a good idea once y'all know each other.
Yeah. How soon do we do it? Guys, he pressured me into doing it. I feel like. He was like, if you don't see yourself with me the way I see myself with you.
Pressured?
I mean, to me, that's kind of pressure.
Oh, okay.
We were young, though, too. Like, we were so young.
In my head, I mean...
Basically, what you were saying to me, this is how I remember it, was that it was like you seen a future with me. So you were basically saying, like, I feel like if we're doing this together, then we need to be a team.
Right.
That's basically how he comes. That's why I said pressure, like, air quotes pressure.
And full disclosure, part of that was just insecurity. Wanted to know what you were spending stuff on and what you were doing.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The truth comes out. Okay.
That was part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely did and do feel like if you're building a future with somebody, then financial information, plans, progress, however you want to word it, however you want to categorize it, needs to be worked on together.
Yeah, I agree. But I also think it's okay for you to have like another account too. Like,
yeah,
I think so.
I mean, at this point, it's like whatever.
Yeah.
I did it so that I can stash money away to buy a wedding ring.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I'm not as opposed to it as I was before.
Yeah, I don't really care. Like, I feel like I think I cared sometimes, like in the beginning of our relationship. Like, I wouldn't even say I cared. It was just like, oh, I had my one account. Like, I've always had the same account since I was 4 years old. Mm-hmm. So for me, I felt like an attachment to it because like I had it for so long. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not getting rid of that account. Like, I'm just not doing it. And then now, obviously, like I have businesses, so I have to have like keep everything like separate.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that like earlier on, I was just, I don't know. I mean, looking back on it, if I'm being honest, it was probably like more of a controlling thing because I didn't want you to. Excuse me. I didn't want you to leave me.
So you didn't want me to leave you, so you wanted to get a joint account?
I figured if we had a joint account,
oh, babe,
I would know what you were doing. I would know what. I mean, even though I really didn't, because you could have went and got a bank account wherever, you just not told me about it.
This sounds like crazy.
It probably is. It probably is. But I'm just being honest. It probably was a little bit controlling. But I felt more secure as an insecure man that if the girl I'm with, if I got a bank account with her, I can see what she's spending money on. I can see what she's doing with it. I can see, you know what I mean?
Who did you go out? You went to Five Guys. Who did you go to Five Guys with? Right. But you never did that though. Like you never like questioned anything.
I didn't have anything to question.
Oh. It's so funny that like he sound like he's making yourself sound like controlling, but first of all, like you weren't controlling at all. I'm
just saying how it sounds talking about it now. Yeah, it sounds controlling. Like if I'm sitting in front of somebody saying like, yeah, I just wanted to see what she was doing. Yeah, like it sounds controlling. Yeah, it does. I don't think I ever did actually like monitor it like that, but yeah, I just felt better if I felt like we had a better chance to be together if we both had an account. And it was also like a trust thing. Like, do you trust me enough to have an account with me? Like,
yeah, because you always brought that up too.
What?
You were like, I feel like, well, you should trust me enough. You should so we can have an account together. And I feel like if we're going to have a future together, then we should have an account together because like if we're ever going to be married or whatever in the future, if we can't have an account together, how's it going to work?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean that.
And I was just like, okay, if that makes you feel better.
I did. Definitely did.
Like, with me, I was just like, whatever. If that's what you want to do.
It definitely made me feel better.
So I guess in our situation, like someone basically asked this question, what about joint accounts? When's a good time to have joint accounts? And really, it's up to you and when you feel comfortable with doing it. With me, Matt's perspective, I guess he felt like it was more of an insecurity thing. For me, I just didn't care, and to put him at ease, I was like, whatever. If that's what you want, we could do that. Like, I'm good with
But
that.
I would say,
but I also trusted you enough to do it with you. Because if I didn't trust you enough to do it with you, I wouldn't.
yeah.
Come on, I wouldn't have did it.
I mean, I will also say, like, I think a mistake that we made was that
a mistake.
A mistake that we made was that we didn't really discuss finances. That wasn't something that we really discussed before joining accounts.
Oh yeah, we did that. It was more of like
let's
just
do
together.
it. Yeah. So I would, if I would do anything differently, I would advise to just create a plan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're thinking about going into a joint account with whoever, your significant other, discuss what plans you guys have. Like, what's the purpose of this? Because for me, it was all emotional. Like there was no real practical reason to have a joint account.
We had joint accounts since we were like 18.
Yeah.
18, 19.
Mm-hmm.
So for a very long time.
Yeah. So like for me, it was more, at that time, it was more emotional reasons. There was nothing really practical about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I assume these are adults asking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would say that, like, just have a discussion about it. Emotional reasons are not bad, but like kind of filter through them to see like what they're about.
I feel like a lot of our relationship, like our jealousy in the beginning of our relationship, as well as like till now, helped build our foundation in a weird way.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that people work on this when they're married that we've been done like over 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, the emotional parts are important. That's why I say just like kind of filter through it, because sometimes emotional reasons can be not so good.
Yeah.
But try to figure out a practical reason to have a joint account together. Have a plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be my advice. Because I think that's one thing that we didn't do. We didn't plan it out at first. I mean, we were young, so I mean, what type of plan?
And we were
really
broke.
have?
We were young and broke.
Yeah, like I don't think I was working at all. Like, so, it's definitely something that that you should really have an in-depth conversation about, because it is a big step. It is a big step. But for me, like I've always wanted to be in a relationship, so I don't know. It was just.
Why did you always want to be in a relationship?
I don't trust people. So.
Why do you want to be in a relationship? I don't trust people. It just sounds funny, like.
Because the opposite of the opposite of being in a relationship is not being in one and having to interact with a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
I didn't trust people, so I wanted to find one person that I can trust, that I can be in a relationship with. And that's it.
We've been together since high school. Like, did you think that you were going to marry me when we started dating in high school?
Marry? No, but I know I wanted to be with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think marriage was something that was on my mind at that time.
When did you know?
Know what?
Like that you wanted to marry me. Like, when did you know? Like, when did it hit? Like, oh, that's gonna be my wife. Was it recently or was it?
No, it wasn't recently. It was. I think Winnie and Aaron's wedding is what made me decide, like, okay, I'm gonna actually go forward and do this. But I've been thinking about it probably like for the last year before then. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, this is pretty much it.
Yeah.
So it took what? Winnie and Aaron got married, what year was that?
2018.
So 2017 is when it first became like a serious thought. So
it took a long time then.
Yeah.
Do you think I played I played a role in that though? Do you think I played a role because I was like, don't ask me to marry young because I don't want to?
I don't remember you ever saying that to me.
Oh, I did.
No, I just don't think I just think I wasn't ready, so I didn't spend much time on
thinking about it.
Yeah. Like, it was a quick thing for me. It's like, I would see something. I would see like something about people getting married, and I'm like, yeah, it'll be nice if we got married, but I ain't ready yet.
I have to agree with you on that because I feel like I think it took people getting married close to me that I'm like, oh, like I guess we really do need to get married because it's like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like why not?
Yeah.
Like why aren't we married yet?
I mean, I think I knew it would eventually happen,
Mm-hmm.
but as far as like focusing on it, I'd probably say like 2016 ish, 2017 ish.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Because I was also thinking like kids and stuff too, and I was like, oh, I want to be married.
So that's almost 10 years. It's almost 9, 10 years before it was seriously considered.
Yeah.
Which sounds like a long time, but like I explain to people all the time, like we met when I was 16. So
Yeah, we were young, and like I honestly, yeah, we already talked about this. Like getting married young is just something that we don't really agree with.
mm,
Um, because you're still trying to find out who you are.
yeah,
I know, like, not to put my family's business out there, but my niece got married at what 19, 18, and
mm,
she's already divorced. This is one of the
yeah,
reasons why we don't like that.
yeah, yeah. It's a couple people
And now
that.
there's some people that actually work though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like at least for the people that I know that I went to school with, there's more of them that are still married than are divorced. I think there's maybe one or two that I can think off the top of my head that are divorced,
Yeah.
but the rest are still married. So I mean, I don't know. It's possible, I guess, but it's possible. I just wouldn't advise it because there's just so much. There's just so much going on for the two individuals at that time that it's just like there's a lot of responsibilities with being in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just not. It's not something that a young mind can fully grasp and handle.
I feel like because this is something that we don't agree with, like getting married young, our kids is going to get married young. That's how it works.
Oh, that's on them.
Yeah, you gotta let them learn.
Yeah, that's on them.
Do you feel like we're going to be like strict parents?
I don't know. I don't know because I'm a firm believer. Like just because of like the families that I've counseled and like the research I've read and studied. I'm a big proponent on just because I see a lot. What I'm saying is I see a lot of families they're so tied into making sure their kids do well
Mm-hmm.
that
You don't let them make mistakes.
they don't let them make mistakes, and that also causes some friction in their marriages and like their relationships with the father
Mm-hmm.
or the mother or whatever. And at the end of the day, it's just like you kind of got to let them go a little bit. I know that like they're your kids, and we don't have kids, but like I'm saying, I'm just speaking from my experience and working with families and my studies. You just gotta let them go.
Yeah.
You can't. You're not. You're not like if a kid's behavior is constantly bad. You can try to get them help. You can try your best to um, stir that behavior, but there comes a point in time where it's like you can't stress yourself out over that because you have a marriage to focus on. To me, the marriage comes first,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to do our best to raise these kids the best that we can, but we're not going to ruin us.
In the process.
Yeah, of trying to make this kid a better person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So when I think
Well, I
about
feel
how
like if your marriage is good, then your overall family should be good too.
it helps, it helps. So when I think about me being a strict parent, I think that I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be that strict because you kind of have to let. It's like with babies. Like a perfect example is with babies. Like studies have shown that like babies that are allowed to explore their environment, crawl around, touch, grab things.
Like Dylan.
You know what I'm saying? Like babies that are allowed to do that turn out to be smarter. They turn out to be more independent. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They turn out to be more successful individuals and human beings.
Yeah.
Babies that are constantly being picked up and told don't touch that and kept away from places, they have more anxiety. They're more dependent. It's the same way throughout life. The more you try to keep that person from exploring their environment,
yeah,
the less used to that environment they will be, and they will be more anxious and unable to adapt in that environment. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would be strict.
I
But,
might. I mean, I wasn't. I didn't grow up strict, so.
oh yeah, no, I didn't grow up strict at all.
I'm like, it doesn't
I
make
was strict
sense
at
for me
all.
to be strict if I didn't grow up strict.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember one time I came in at like 3 a.m, and I was so surprised, and my mom was upset. Like, she was like, "Where was you at? And where you been? It's 3 o'clock in the morning." I'm confused. I'm like, I've done this before, and you ain't never cared. So yeah. So I definitely wasn't monitored. I wasn't raised in a strict household at
I
all.
had a curfew, like in elementary school, to be in the house by like 10. And that's because of the street lights. It depended on like daylight savings time. I had to be on before the street lights came on, like while the street lights just came on.
When I was younger, I think my mom would let me like leave the porch and stuff like that. But once I got like a teenager, oh, that went out the window.
Yeah. I feel like it's important to let them explore. Because you have, like, everyone learns from mistakes. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got to touch the frying pan and know that it's hot. So
pretty much. Well, we missed you guys, and it's been so fun. We are back again like we never left, and we are so excited to bring you guys more content.
Yes.
But I do want to, throw a business out there, which is mine. So please go ahead and support Black-owned businesses such as myself, Chic Beauty. That's at SHIC_beauty on Instagram.
What's that again? What is it?
I couldn't get it out. Did it sound like I was like slobbering when I said that?
No. I just want you to remind people what it is.
Yes, it is at Chic. That's SHIC_beauty.
All right. And then what do you do at Chic Beauty? What is it?
Yeah, so I do lash extensions. I do microblading, micro shading. I train classes. I do fillers, guys. Fillers. You got to be diverse, okay? Yeah, so definitely hit me up, especially if you're in the Tampa area. I would love to meet some of you guys. So definitely book your appointment. And I promise I am here. Also on Google. So if you have questions about the reviews, go ahead and Google it, because we're on there too.
Everywhere, doing a lot of things.
Yes.
And during a pandemic.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So especially during these times, you know what I mean? Like, it's important to support Black businesses, not just ours, but Black businesses across the country. But while you're doing that, support Chic Beauty.
Yes. Well, until next time, thanks again. We out. Deuces.